Good evening. The images are so strange and striking. Even though we've seen hundreds of tornadoes in rural America, it is still hard to believe that a giant and ghostly funnel was sucking up the river water and then heading directly into the heart of a city, Springfield, Massachusetts, encircling the rush hour traffic up on the bridge and then roaring into the downtown streets. And all day today, we were asking questions. Is it possible that a tornado could take down a city's skyscraper? And is something changing our city tornadoes now the sign of the future? Our first report tonight is from Good Morning America news anchor Josh Elliott with the urban survivors in Springfield who simply couldn't believe what they were seeing. Josh?
That's right, Diane. The tornadoes that tore through this state on Wednesday cut a path as unlikely as it was destructive. That is something we heard from the residents here that we spoke to today over and over again. People who've seen all manner of extreme weather. Still, no one could ever remember seeing anything quite like this.
Main Street, Springfield today, a city of more than 150,000. Nearby, a house literally flipped upside down. Cars on top of homes. A school bus on top of trees. When people here think of extreme weather, it's blizzards and heat waves. Never this.
It seems like it's coming right towards us.
We could see it coming, like right up there above that tree. The wind and the clouds were just spinning.
The tornadoes tore through the state in the late afternoon. Riding in over the river, a disaster movie special effect sprung to life, striking with virtually no warning.
It was probably, I think, from start to finish here in West Springfield, 2 minutes at the most, from the time it formed to the time it was gone.
One of those who died, a mother, killed as she held her daughter, huddled in their bathtub.
It's touching. It really shows a mother's love for her child, trying to protect it. And I think it really shows humanity at its best.
All day, the National Guard went door to door.
We're going to go to the pizza place and come back and go down that side.
As did search and rescue teams.
Significant damage, needs attention, condemned at this time.
We spoke with Massachusetts Task Force 1. They've worked the rubble of Hurricane Katrina, the carnage of the World Trade Center.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Not natural. Not like this, and not in Massachusetts.
The people here stunned.
I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just thankful I'm alive because I was in there with my cat and my dog in the tub, just waiting and praying it would just go by and not take me with it.
And Diane, I'm now standing in front of that home where that mother saved her daughter's life to disastrous result. You can see now the recovery does continue. And we should mention that the human toll here stands officially at 3. And Diane, as you and I both saw in Missouri last week, these search and rescue teams will remain working through the night to ensure that that toll climbs no higher. Diane?
They are tireless. Thank you, Josh. And that, of course, takes us to those questions we've been asking. Are we now looking at more and more tornadoes in bigger and bigger cities? Could one take out a skyscraper? Sharon Alfonsi got some answers today.
Cornfields, the traditional domain of the tornado. But this spring, Tuscaloosa, Joplin, and now Springfield. Cities face to face with the tornado's fury. And when they hit a city,
it sounded like an 18-wheeler blowing his horn.
They devastate. Scientists say because cities have so much friction, things like buildings and bridges, that force the tornado to slow down. And slower moving tornadoes often cause more damage. We saw it firsthand today.
This is the first house that the tornado hit. You can see it literally lifted this house up off the ground and pushed it.
We followed the path the tornado carved through the city today, trying to make some sense of it.
The strange thing here is you can see the condition of this car, the windows blown out up on its front end. Just down the street, there was a Corvette for sale. It doesn't have a scratch on it. The difference from block to block is startling. Over there, a woman was killed when her entire house collapsed on her. Over here, you can see a flower pot still hanging. This side of the street, barely touched.
Most people think tornadoes are just picking the path of least resistance, but scientists say it's not true. They're not directed by what's on the ground. They're steered entirely from above. Think of a helicopter dragging a rope. Raleigh, Tulsa, Minneapolis have been hit by tornadoes in the past. Still, strikes in the city have historically been the exception because cities only make up a small geographical fraction of the country. But now, scientists say with urban sprawl, many of those growing cities find themselves a growing target for Mother Nature.
It's kind of like an urban myth. People think they're safe in cities, but obviously this year we're kind of proving that wrong.
So the question becomes, if a tornado could do this to a house, what would an F5 do to, say, a skyscraper? Well, skyscrapers are skeletal, so it wouldn't collapse. These collapse because they've got load-bearing walls. But scientists say certainly the windows would blow out and shatter under the pressure. Diane?
All right, Sharon Alfonsi reporting from Springfield tonight. And now we turn to what looked like gas.